Okay, one thing that really confused me when I first started to play the guitar was the modes, learning all the modes and the understanding of them really baffled me because of strange names like Phrygian and Ionian and Locrian, and it really confused me. But one way that I found to really understand modes is this, that there's only really two modes. And that's the normal straight major and minor scales. The major is known as the Ionian, and the minor is known as the Aeolian. And basically, all the other modes are variations of those two scales. For example, if you take the E major scale, which is the Ionian scale, and just play it in one octave. You can make that into Mixolydian or Lydian just by changing one note. To make it into Mixolydian, all you have to do is flatten the seventh note. I say the seventh note because literally it is the seventh note in the scale that you play. And the seventh note is E flat, so if you flatten it, it becomes D. So this is the E Mixolydian mode. All you're doing is changing one note basically. To make it E Lydian, all you have to do is sharpen the fourth. So basically it ends up looking like this. That's the E Lydian mode. All we're doing is changing the A into A sharp or B flat or whatever way you look at it. So it's got that flat fifth kind of sound, and that's E Lydian and E Mixolydian. And if you just look at them in one octave, you can then play them anywhere on the guitar, starting from an E. You can play them here or wherever, or here. And you know, or you can play them in two octaves when you know the notes or whatever. Like for example, E Lydian will be in two octaves, and you can play them anywhere around the neck. The other modes are in a minor sort of key, which is the Aeolian. So if you take E minor scale or E Aeolian, get this. And the two modes that are connected to that are E Phrygian and Dorian. And to make it Dorian, all you have to do is sharpen the sixth. So you get a C sharp in there instead of a C. That's E Dorian. To get E Phrygian, all you have to do is flatten the second. So you play F instead of F sharp. So you get this. And that's all in one octave. So you can play that anywhere on the guitar, in whatever key. So say for example we wanted C Mixolydian, you would play and that's just basically every normal whole note, but we've got to B flat in there, or A sharp. Okay, one way of understanding all their names is if you play the C major scale. First one is the Ionian mode, which is the normal major scale then. If you start the C major scale from the D, which is the second, it's Dorian. If you start it from the third, it would be Phrygian, which is E Phrygian. If you start it from the fourth, you get F Lydian. And if you start it from the fifth, you get G mixed Lydian. If you start it from A, that'll just give you A minor or A Aeolian. So that would be if you start it from B, you get something which we haven't looked at yet, which is Locrian. And Locrian basically is neither really a major or minor mode. It's used more with jazz. And one way of playing the Locrian mode is if you say we wanted it in E Locrian. If you play the F major scale but started from E, that would give you E Locrian, which is like this. That's going up in two octaves.